story is about the headquarters of the National Negro Opera Company. It's also about all the people that stayed at this house and all the creative energy within the walls of this house. At nighttime, the elite of Pittsburgh Black community came through those doors. They were not welcome anywhere else, and it was a spiritual safe haven for people of color who were not permitted to be on the street after dark. The house also served as a rooming house for traveling musicians and sports celebrities. Who stayed there? Lena Horne, boxing legend Joe Louis, Roberto Clemente, Count Basie, and many others.
Mystery Manor was owned by Woogie Harris, a wealthy Black entrepreneur. He provided this safe haven to Pittsburgh's Black elite. Our story primarily focuses on Mary Dawson, who started the National Negro Opera Company on the second floor of the home.
So Mary Dawson was this amazing woman who just was unstoppable. She was an entrepreneur, an educator, a mentor. She became a talent agent. She was determined to start her own opera company. Mary became my hero, my mentor, my energy. She had died almost 60 years ago, but now she was back at my studio, at my desk, pushing my pen, demanding not to be forgotten. She was begging me to write, and the walls began to talk. And then 15 songs later, we had a soundtrack.
History comes alive, so the future can survive. If these walls could talk, they would surely tell the story of their time.
If the Walls Could Talk was the first song that came to me, I kept staring at the images of this house. It was magnificent once, and it was haunting now.
History comes alive, so the future can survive. I asked these walls to talk, share the story of their time. For if these walls could talk, they'd speak, the house is mine. From those who perform to the memories that's enshrined. And if these walls could talk, they'd say we aged just fine. Cracks and peels.
I kept looking at the dirt, and that the story was falling into the dirt. So it started as basically my lyric that I sent to a young kid in Texas who's a really good hip-hop rap artist. And I knew I wanted to blend opera with hip-hop. I figured that if Mary was alive today, she'd be really into rap. She'd find it fascinating. The architecture of this first song is really an adventure. A young rapper from Houston learns about Mary. He feels her energy. He needs a hero. She becomes his hero, and he tells her story. And then, by extension, he tells his own story.
Don Carroll knew it would eventually become a stage production. And in February of 2025, the first public reading of If These Walls Could Talk occurred in Needham, Massachusetts.
So this is a wonderful piece of historical fiction, but the characters in the play and the story that is told are historically accurate. These are real people, both in the two different time periods in which the play takes place. And it's a really timely play as we begin Black History Month.
Super exciting to finally see the 6-year project come to life in the stage production, the first draft of If the Walls Could Talk. Obviously obsessed about this house and saving it, and the storytelling that came out of this house has just been so educational and rewarding.
Right, and everybody who come to this house, they did what they had to do, too. But nowadays, where I come from, seems like everybody's doing what they have to do, but they only doing it for themselves.
I'm really happy to be part of this, and then I read the historical stuff on the house and everything like that, so it's just one of those very special things to be a part of, essentially. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I get to play Woogie, so that's really wonderful.
Mary, remember the day you came to me?
Like it was yesterday.
Said that a refined, sophisticated, and successful man like me ought to be, what you call this, Mary?
A patron of the arts.
A patron of the arts. Ain't that some glitter?
I have to say that the story is fascinating and one that I had never, ever heard of. I never even knew that there was something called a National Negro Opera Company, or that it had begun in 1941. Yet again, you know, we're so deprived as Americans from learning about our history.
Let's forget everything that went on. But me and Solomon here, we're about to help everybody remember.
How y'all gonna do that?
By bringing back the glory and the beauty of this house.
That night injected hope and empowerment to a room full of people. That house on 7101 Apple Street inhaled hate and exhaled love. And it can do it again. Help us save this house. Join us.